Hello, so I'm just going to show you how I make paper beads. So I start with a cocktail stick. I cut one of the ends off. I have to be super careful because it's kind of dangerous with your craft knife to do that. Yeah, that's one end off. And then split the cocktail stick. This is a dodgy cocktail stick, so it's probably not gonna work, but we shall see. I'm holding it down really hard so it doesn't roll. You can't see, sorry. There, I'm holding it down. I'm just taking my craft knife down the middle. Once. Twice. Oh. 10 times the charm. There we go. So it's made, oh, it's not worked very well. But so it's made this little splitty bit here that will hold my paper. So I've cut my paper. I'm using craft paper. So I like these little books of different patterned papers. This one's is just under 6 inches long, and I've cut it. So I've got it 1 centimetre at one end, and I've cut it into a point. So I'm just gonna show you. This is really hard. Can't see properly. So I just slot the paper into that slit that I've made in my cocktail stick, and then just start rolling it up. And that slit is just going to hold the paper, so I can then keep pulling it and to keep it tight, and it won't spin around. Most of the people that I've seen making these just seem to be able to roll it around, but when I did that, it just slips and unravels. And a lot of people do it like this as well, where they put it like that and roll it. But I also don't like doing that. It's much easier to do it like this, so you can control it more, like get it more centralized. You need to keep this bit in the middle the whole time. Rolling, rolling, rolling. That's my bead making song. And just be really careful when you get to the end, because this bit tears off really easily. That little thin bit. And just leave like 1 centimetre hanging off, and put a little tiny dot of glue. I've just got, this is like PVA in here, I think, but it comes in this little pen, so it's easy to do. And then just carry on twisting and just let the glue that's on my finger just smooth out the rest. So there we go, that's it done. Just getting it off. This is a bit harder when you've got your stick with a slit in it. Just grab it really tightly and pull, and then sort of need to even it out a bit. Sometimes when you pull it off, it goes a bit funny. Oh, keep going off camera. There we go. So that's your tapered bead. So you can't really see the pattern really anymore on that, the pattern that was on the paper, because of the taper. So if you're making tapered ones, just think about the colours that you want in them. And the patterns will make it interesting, but you'll never be able to see it. Whereas these sort of barrel-y ones, you can really see the pattern. So there's two different types that you make. They're both 1 centimetre, but one is tapered and one is a straight barrel one. And once you've made lots of them, oh, I was just playing as well with different widths. That's a 2 centimetre at one end and pointed at the other. So the same paper, so just under 6 inches. This one was 5mm and it was really, really hard, but it's made a cute little round one. They'll look totally different depending on what thickness your paper is. So just play around with lots of different paper. Like this was my first attempt at paper beads ever in my life yesterday. No, it wasn't yesterday, the other day anyway. And yeah, I just tried all sorts of different paper and different widths, and I tried the skewer to go around as well, because those people seem to use these skewers, but I don't like the big hole. It's a really big hole. I don't think it's very pretty. It's not as nice as the little one, and it just rattles around too much. So yeah, I liked the cocktail stick. That was nice. So once you've made a few beads, you need to seal them. So to seal them, that's to make them nice and hard and long lasting and good to make jewellery out of. I use this Ronseal High Performance Wet Rot Wood Hardener. So that's from B&Q. I don't know how much it was though. But I think this will last me a lifetime of doing this, because I put half of that into a jar, and then what you do is just, you have to string your beads up. So I put mine on this 0.5mm jewellery line. I've tied one of the beads onto the end, like one that didn't go very well that I don't want to keep, the sacrificial bead, and a paper clip on the other end to hold them, and then you just dip them in and sort of wiggle them around because they'll get air bubbles and stuff on. Don't get any on your hands though, just do it really, really carefully, and just hold them there for like 10-15 seconds, just until the stuff's really soaked in. And then I made this kind of cardboard holder thing, and I just put the paper clip on the edge of there for them to dry. So they take, I did measure that so that it was the right length for the thing that I made. So they take 2 hours to dry completely. But when they're dry, they're totally hard, probably waterproof, to be honest, and they'll just be really good for making jewellery. So once they've dried, you can take them off this and just store them. They don't stick together. I was really amazed by that. They don't stick together somehow while they're drying. I also just made a A4 one, and that's come out really, really nice. It's hard to find A4 really nice pattern paper though. They usually come in these little 6-inch books. Comparing it to my 6-inch little tapered one, they're both a centimetre to start with. It's just a bit sort of more rounded if it's longer. Kind of interesting. So yeah, that's it. Ta-ta!